2 Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's, offers fully covered loading and unloading area with individual pin-coded gate and door access. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Hapaday Guam, I'm Adriana Catero. It's Wednesday, you are watching Crime Time, and I'm joined here with Sergeant Paul Ypao. We are discussing about a recent incident that took place here along Ypao Road, Carmen Memorial Drive. It was New Year's Eve, the evening or early morning of, correct? And a few thefts had occurred here.
Yes, you're correct. On the day of New Year's Eve, December 31st, our officers from the Tumuning Precinct Command, they entertained numerous theft complaints. And we're looking at 5 vehicle break-ins. 1 home was actually broken into, and a silver Honda Ridgeline was actually stolen in the process. Now, this area here along Carmen Memorial Drive. There are actually pillar families within the community, and they do have an active neighborhood watch group. And within that group, they were able to provide us with some still footage of the possible perpetrators, and we did circulate that throughout the other media partners to include KOM, in which we featured over the weekend. But we would like to really highlight the events as to what happened, and understanding the importance of the community coming together and understanding the type of crimes that were committed. So this happened according to the timestamp with the video surveillance footage that was given to us. We're looking at 3:38 in the morning, and pretty much 3:38 in the morning, people are still sleeping. People are gearing up for the festivities of New Year's Eve, but unfortunately for the families that were affected by this, waking up to something like this, it's really, it puts a damper in the celebration. So
especially starting the new year, new decade that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And once we heard about the incident that happened, we actually came around just to visit the neighbors to see if what other information can we gather. And the beautiful thing about it is we see the sign.
Yeah, right here.
We actually saw an active neighborhood watch group coming out as we were greeted by numerous residents along the area inquiring what we were doing, because we were driving an unmarked vehicle and we had to identify ourselves. And they shed some light about some of the crimes that are being committed. And speaking with Mayor Rivera about the neighborhood watch program, she is really working really hard and doing her due diligence in connecting the Tumuning proper with a neighborhood watch program that works.
So you mentioned that some of the residents here gave you footage of the incident that occurred. Did you guys make any arrests? Are there suspects, or
No,
what's the update on that?
Not at this time. We're still following up with the case. We are actually forwarding it. We actually, we wanted to feature this because we wanted to bring out the Guam Crime Stoppers, put them in the forefront, because as we provided the information to the media, we were actually got some tip information about some possible suspects and who may be responsible for this crime. But any other information that we can get as any possible witnesses, we can actually utilize that in enhancing our investigation and bringing justice to the families that were victimized of this crime.
Of course. So you mentioned a car was stolen.
Yes.
And do you know anything else that was stolen out of the other vehicles or the home that was broken into?
No, we don't have an inventory listing of what occurred other than the big ticket item, which was the silver Honda Ridgeline. And prior to us actually starting the cameras, I did meet with a resident here, and he informed me that the vehicle was recovered. So that's a good thing. But we still want to focus on the theft, and we're focusing on the theft exclusively. And I was enlightened that these the residents here along this strip of road, these are pillar families within the community. So you're looking at 3, 4, maybe even 5 generations of family members that have lived, grown up, and are part of this homestead.
Have there been other crimes of this nature here in this area? Because, you and I were just standing out here, and one of the gentlemen stopped and said, was there another, he saw you in blue and asked if there was another theft or burglary that had happened.
Not that it has been reported, other than the New Year's Eve incident. That's significant because of the amount of thefts that were reported to the Guam Police Department. And you were standing there in the conversation, and I had asked the question, are you a part of the watch group program? And he looked baffled and he didn't understand. And giving him the direction and understanding that a vibrant neighborhood watch program, it really, the success comes with the community members coming together. And we explained to him that the changing of times and of course the changing of generations, this is a time in which we all need to come back into, I guess, the structure and the foundation of a true community, and that's really being stewards of the community by being neighborly to each other and being a part of your neighborhood watch program. When you see a vibrant neighborhood watch group, you can actually start seeing the reduction of crime, and of course the activity of people reporting suspicious activity, and that's where it starts really in crime prevention is the eyes and ears within the community, giving the Guam Police Department the information that's needed to better enhance and protect and safeguard the safety of the community.
Now, Sergeant Paltapel, whenever I had recently spoken in an interview with Chief Steve Ignacio, he had mentioned that you guys want to get some of the police officers in these watch groups as well, the chats.
Yes, absolutely. I am a member of a few of the watch groups. I'm also a member of the Tumuni Neighborhood Watch, and working with Mayor Rivera was one of the challenges that I needed to work firsthand with her. And one of the things that she's actually developed with her program was deploying members of the her municipal planning councils within the different sectors of Tumuni, because it's so diverse. Majority of Tumuni, it's a lot of the residents that reside here are transient families. They come and go because of the high number of apartments, condominiums, and everything. But we still have our pillar families. But the way Tumuni and Tuman, or Tutuha, in which they use, the way it's spread out, she's actually deployed her municipal planning council members to oversee, be in charge of various areas. So this one here will be pretty much considered the Ypao Road proper, and then you still have your Tumuni main proper, you have your Parisville, you have your lower Tuman, you have your proper in Harmon, and of course you have your proper along the main thoroughfares of Tumuni. So the challenges that she faces, she's really utilizing methods of mitigating how to address, connecting everybody with information. But I've seen their program grow to where it's at now, and the information that's being provided, it's not just within the Tumuning area, but other neighborhood watch groups.
Right. So, Sergeant Paltapel, as we are standing here, we spoke with the gentleman prior, and he mentioned that his house does have a gate, and we can see that there are a lot of gates and homes fenced in, but that he can tell that people even try to pick at it. What are some safety precautions you could tell people, even if they have gates like this?
Lighting is critical and important, in safeguarding your home and your property. Barriers and perimeter fence lining, such as concrete fences, gates, and everything. It adds that extra perimeter barrier that you can actually use as a safety net. People use brushes and shrubs too. It provides a separation from the main thoroughfare to your private property. We're seeing a lot of investments in surveillance camera. That's an added plus, because we just had a meeting last night at the Sinahanya Neighborhood Watch Group, and we do have an active home surveillance registry that helps with our investigation should a crime occur. So that's one thing that we're trying to implement with other watch programs, is to have an established video surveillance registry where homes can actually avail their CC camera into the main roadway, so that it can enhance and provide the service. And more importantly, it's really getting involved with a neighborhood watch group. Knowing your neighbors, knowing how you can help them, and understanding some of their habits. Their good habits, and providing assistance. So when they're away, you can be the watchful eyes and ears for their homes, and not just their homes, but if you take a neighborhood watch concept, it's really the four-corner approach: the house to your front, the house to your back, the house to your sides. That's really the foundation of a neighborhood watch program.
Four-corner approach, you said, right? Okay, so I know that you said that this isn't typically a location that you've seen theft or a crime like this, but there are other areas within the island. Can you just highlight on what some of those are, and were there any other incidents on that same evening?
No, we did get some reports within the week of, I guess we want to attribute that to maybe some juvenile crimes. We had some reports, and I want to say from our village, where cars were actually, I don't want to say broken into, but thefts had occurred. But a lot of it was really just crimes of opportunity. A lot of the reports that came in was that they left their vehicle unsecured. And that's one of the things too. It's really establishing when you secure for the night, you have to secure your belongings, whether it be your vehicle or your home. Make sure it's safe. Make sure you secure it properly. But We had theft reports that were provided to the mayor, and it indicated that majority or all of the vehicles that were broken into or where the theft had occurred, the doors were unsecured. So I mean, it really is. We've become complacent to where we grew up, 3 generations in a village where there's pretty much there's no crime because we have pillar families. But like I mentioned, the generation, the times have changed. It's moving in a direction where we have to do our due diligence in safeguarding not just our homes but the surrounding areas around it.
You mentioned securing your car doors, but another thing, windows. I know that sometimes we'll forget to roll them up all the way or what have you, but that's also probably something as well.
It is. It's the start of the new year and everything, and we highlighted this because of the fact that this was the eve of 2020, and these are small steps in which we need to change our way of thinking. We become tunnel vision. We take for granted that I entered my gate, I'm safe and everything, but really understanding that safety really is being cognizant and situational awareness of understanding in the event, what if something happens, how are you preparing yourself for that, and understanding how you can get yourself into that mind frame. And we talked about it many times about putting yourself in that mind frame by taking you out of the complacency of your tunnel vision that this is just going to happen. I'm just going to go home. I'm going to, secure for the night. But anticipate things that may happen. And that's the best way to do it. And making sure that you stay safe. And it really is, it becomes muscle memory that you're practicing these techniques, these methods of securing not just yourself, but also your property and your loved ones.
Now, for those that aren't part of their neighborhood watch groups, how can they get involved?
Reach out to your mayors. The mayors have been the key component in a successful neighborhood watch program. Just before the holidays or during the holiday season, we collaborated our efforts with Guam Homeland Security and Office of Civil Defense in securing 57 signs that we are going to be distributing throughout the community. And, we've taken a step further, with the help of, the current administration, the Honorable Governor Lou Leon Guerrero, and of course the Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio. They're going to be affording, the respective mayors within the proper are going to be affording other signs to the community. But, that's just a collaborative partnership that we have with the community, the Mayor's Council of Guam, Guam Homeland Security and Civil Defense, and of course, the Office of the Governor, in ensuring that we are taking the steps in providing the safety and security to the community. I mean, the signs are there, but really, the science in itself is maybe a deterrent, but the true deterrents are the people that are involved in a vibrant neighborhood watch program. So reach out to your mayors. Like I mentioned, they are the key components. They are really the go-to people that we seek to in establishing and revitalizing a neighborhood watch program within their respective proper.
All right, and before we go, if anyone has any information, how can they contact Crime Stoppers?
Okay, so really the best way to provide information to the Guam Crime Stoppers is to submit a tip online at guam.crimestoppersweb.com. I'm the recipient of the tip information, and a lot of the tips, really, once I get it, I channel it through the respective division that does the investigation. So this is a great opportunity to start of the new year. Give us that information. We are working on some tips that came in. We put this out in the media just over the weekend, and we were able to hit some tips that has been forwarded to our Criminal Investigation Division. But, not just this incident, but all the other incidents that you see may be suspicious, report it to the Guam Police Department at 472-8911.
All right, well, thank you, Sergeant Paul Tapao, and thank you all for starting your day the KUAM way.